So yeah, now let's focus on some of the questions that we can do under cash flow statements. So first, the question number one. The following information relates to Flute, a limited liability company. So they've given you with the statement of financial position and also the statement of profit or loss. So in addition, they have given a note saying that at 30th September 2008, Flute had agreed to, but not yet accounted for, a contra between trade receivables and trade payables amounting to $230. So you know what a contra entry is. A contra entry for the double entry for a contra entry would be debit creditors, credit debtors. So we are cancelling off the balance of a creditor who's acting as a debtor as well. I've simply given you all the answer for this question. The requirement of this question is to, using the direct method of presentation, prepare the net cash flow from operating activities. You just have to show the operating cash flow under this. So first, when you are doing a question, please keep in your mind to read it from the beginning to the end and identify what the requirement is properly, rather than suddenly when you see the word question, don't try drawing the formats and don't try answering it without reading the question. So you better read the question from beginning to the end at least once before trying out the answer. So first, look at the statement of financial position that they have given. They have given it for 2 years. So in the theory part, I explained that we take, when preparing the indirect method only, we have to consider about these profit figures, working capital changes, etc. But when preparing the cash flow statement under the direct method, we don't have to worry about any of those. We just have to take the cash figures, cash payments and cash receipts. So in here, we just need to identify the amount of cash we have received from debtors, amount of cash that we have paid to creditors likewise. So take the element trade receivables, draw a tree account, put the opening balance and closing balance, and put the sales amount from the profit figure. Assuming that all sales are credit sales, you take the sales figure to the T account, and then you can balance off the T account and find the cash received amount from the debtors. And that figure I've shown you as cash received from debtors, this one. And then for the trade payables, also do the same thing. Draw a T account, put the opening balance and closing balance, and take the purchases to that T account, then balance the T account and identify the amount that have been paid by cash to the creditors to settle the balances. And for accrued, and that answer also are given as cash paid to creditors. And accrued wage expenses, do the same thing. Draw a T account, put the opening closing balances, take the annual figure from the statement of profit and loss, balance it off and find the cash paid amount. Then I've clearly explained that interest payable and income tax payable are two material figures that we show separately in the cash flow statement. So don't mix up these two elements with the other elements. Please be mindful to state these two figures separately in the cash flow statement. And take the interest payable element, put the draw a T account, put the opening balance and closing balance, take the annual figure from the statement of profit or loss, balance it off, and you'll be able to find the interest amount paid in cash. Whatever the amount paid in cash only, we are putting it under the statement of cash flows. So this interest paid 275 and tax paid 1340 are the cash paid amounts, not the annual figures which are mentioned under the statement of profit or loss. So balancing off, you will get the net cash